Camera on. All right, cool. Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm using my wallet as a little tripod. A little unstable because it's kind of crooked, but it's fine. Just wanted to say how's everybody been. Here's another video. Today I wanted to do something a little unique. um, I wanted to kind of just quick talk over some of the journeys I've been on. The past couple of years. It was actually only a couple of years ago that I actually started to really finally start traveling, and kind of see the world a little bit. Because I realized, oh, sorry, that's just my phone. But I realized that there's a lot more to this world than just here, and I kind of wanted to see what's out there. And I'm glad I have a significant other that loves to loves to travel and see the world. And because of her, I was able to do a lot of these things. So what I'm gonna do is I'll go over kind of like the countries I've been on lately. I do plan to visit more. Hopefully if God allows me, whoever the higher power is above, I'll be able to go to more countries. And yeah, let's get started. So let me pull something really quick. So I have all these flags of all the countries that I've been, and I can't wait to show you guys. So let's get started. Actually, let me just get this away really quick. Okay. Alright, cool. Sorry, let me just fix my shirt. And there we go. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm just going to pull a flag out of my hat, and I'll quickly talk over, things that happened in that country that I enjoyed. So first flag is, oops. I guess it'll be this one. So this is the country of Finland. So I went to this country last year. So Finland. Okay, so Finland is a country in Europe that borders, I believe, Norway, Sweden, and Russia. Now Finland, man, so for Finland we were only there for like a day and a half, you could say. And we were in the city of Helsinki, and it was actually a cool, pretty city. It was actually a cool little city. The interesting thing there was that the sun didn't go down. The sun didn't go down till it was like 11 p.m., 11:30 at night. So it was funny because it was like 10 p.m. and the sun was still out. We were like, oh shit, the sun is still outside. Interesting. So that was actually very kind of a cool thing that we observed, Jackie and I. And I love the sauna. Like the sauna was amazing in Helsinki. Getting inside the hot sauna and then jumping into the cold ass water. That's probably one of the coolest experiences I've had. And yeah, I recommend Finland. Finland's a very cool place to go. A lot of people there that work as Uber drivers. Something that we know is a lot of Uber drivers there are from like Eritrea, like from Somalia, like those countries in Africa. So they could probably immigrate to Somalia to send money home or to help someday hopefully move their families here. So that was kind of an interesting take. But yeah, Finland, very nice country, very clean. It was actually a pretty cool place. So yes, Finland. Okay, next country is Hungary. So this is Hungary. Okay, so Hungary, basically Hungary is this country also in Europe, Central. I think it borders like the Czech Republic. Well, now it's called Czechia, I believe, and then Slovakia and all that. But Hungary was cool. Hungary has a lot of cool cool buildings, very cool architecture. They also have remnants of like the Cold War when they were under the Iron Curtain. There's actually a monument in Budapest. That's the capital where we saw, where they have like a little memorial that has like the Soviet hammer and sickle, and kind of just says that this was where we liberated our people from the oppression of the Soviet Union. When the revolutions were beginning and all that. So it's pretty cool. We saw like the main square. There were other things cool. They have a pretty cool night bar scene. And yeah, Hungary, very cool country, very 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 cool. They do have they do have a leader called Viktor Orban who leads them, and he's been known to be very very anti-immigration. So that's kind of like a thing that that one of those things that you kind of have to jump with when it comes to people like that. Next one is okay, England. So, well, United Kingdom, but we specifically went to London, England. So, England was actually the beginning of our European trip last year. We started in London, and yeah, we got to see we saw Big Ben. We saw um, the Eye, like the Ferris wheel. Um, we saw London Bridge. We saw Buckingham Palace. And yeah, England's very nice. England's actually we were on the metro, the subway. That was pretty cool. We crossed Abbey Road. We saw where the Beatles recorded. The recording studio was there was like a little gift shop now that has stuff in there, so that was pretty cool to see. And yeah, England's a pretty nice place. I would definitely maybe go back again, but I would only go back to see like the Harry Potter stuff. That's something we didn't get to see when we were in London because we were only there for like a day, so we couldn't really do much. But yeah, England's London, at least London, pretty cool place, pretty cool country. People are very respectful. Like the streets are all like nice. It was pretty cool to see. Like you just see these flags everywhere. So, England, yep, that was cool. Okay, next one. Okay, this is Egypt, the country of Egypt. So, this is actually a very special trip because I mean, I could go on about this one for a while, but I'll make it short. Basically, I promised my grandparents I would want to take them to Egypt because I wanted to see the pyramids, Giza, the Sphinx, Abu Simbel, Luxor, Giza, all that. And this was like years in the making, like years. And I was actually originally going to take them in 2020, but then, COVID happened and all that went to shit, that had to be delayed for a few years. But once 2022 came along, I said, you know what, now's the time. Now's the time to go. And my grandparents are getting older, so I didn't want to wait too long and then something happened, then I never had the chance to do it. So long story short, I took my grandparents to Egypt. That was like one of the highlights of their lives, and that was a highlight of my life too, because I was able to finally fulfill that promise, that dream, that wish that I gave, that I told them I would do when I was little. So Egypt always has that. Egypt trip was probably one of my special trips I've ever had. And great country, I mean, beautiful country. I've seen seeing like King Tutankhamun, the mummy itself right there, everything else, the pyramids, the Abu Simbel, the big statues. That priceless. I mean, that's just something. I mean, it was amazing. Okay. All right, Bosnia Herzegovina. So this country. So we visited Sarajevo on our European trips. We went to Bosnia. So again, Bosnia is one of those countries that it has a lot of complicated history. I mean, sure, the Bosnian Wars in the '90s. That was really bad. But again, I'm just going to summarize because again, this video is going to take way too long, and I have to go through all these countries. So, Bosnia, we saw Sarajevo, we saw like the side where the Olympics started, like the bobsled, and that was pretty cool to see. Like that's where they had the Winter Olympics, 1984, I believe, was in Sarajevo. It was one of their proud achievements of that city, and for communism in general, for them to portray what a communist city was, and basically Sarajevo was one of the gold jewel cities of Yugoslavia. Back then it was called Yugoslavia when there were 6 republics all to get joined into one nation. And unfortunately all that collapsed when the civil wars began in Yugoslavia. But yeah, Bosnia is interesting because 3 ethnic groups live in Bosnia. You have the Bosnian Serbs, you have the Croat Catholics, and you have the Bosniak Muslims, the Croats Catholics, and the Orthodox Serbs. They all live in Bosnia. And interesting enough, there's 2, or I suppose 1 or 2 autonomous regions in Bosnia. I know one's called the Republic of Srpska, which is a place that we actually went through, on our way to Bosnia. We actually traveled to the Republic of Srpska, which is a self-declared breakaway state by the Serbs. They're basically made up of Serbs that wish to one day join Serbia, but they're like their own they give like their own autonomy in Bosnia. So, but yeah, Bosnia Herzegovina has a very complicated history, but it was beautiful. It was one of the countries I actually enjoyed seeing for the history of it, and we also visited the actual car where the Archduke Franz Ferdinand was shot by Gustavo Princip, I believe that was his name, who was a Serb, and that shot led to Austria-Hungary declaring war on Serbia, I believe. That's how the story goes. No, it led to it led to Austria-Hungary declaring war on Serbia, and that's how World War One started. So yeah, a lot of cool history in Sarajevo, Bosnia Herzegovina. All right, next up is Croatia. All right. So, so out of all the countries that I went on this European trip, I would say Croatia is probably my favorite country overall. Like overall in terms of like the history, the food, the atmosphere, the people, the everything. I would say Croatia was my favorite country, and it's beautiful. Croatia is so beautiful. We went along the coasts. We went to the places where they shot Game of Thrones. If you're into Game of Thrones, they had a cool little area there. I mean, the markets were amazing. Like the people are friendly. I mean, it was honestly, Croatia is a vibe. If there's any country I would recommend that is kind of like not as popular as like let's say France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Greece, the ones that people usually always go to. If I could recommend a country that I know you will love, that's not usually part of the top countries that I know you'll love, honestly, Croatia, man. Croatia, especially if you go along the coast. I can't think of the city now so that we went, but basically it's all where they shot Game of Thrones. But I would have to look it back in my itinerary. Maybe in another video I'll say in the cities, but yeah, no, Croatia, man. I fucking recommend Croatia along the coast. It's one of the countries you will actually never forget, and you'll actually crave to go again. And I told Jackie, my girlfriend, that if we were to go to Europe again, I would not mind going to Croatia again. Croatia was just that awesome. And it's very underrated as well. It's a hidden gem. So go Croatia.
All right, next country is. Let's see. Just trying to.
Yeah, Mexico. Well, so Mexico said, well, I was born here, but my parents are Mexican born, so I do have a Mexican heritage. But technically, I could say Mexico's a place I've traveled. So I've been to many places in Mexico. So I've been to the capital, DF. I've been to Tijuana. I've been to Cancun, where Chichen Itza is, around that area, and all that, and Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, Cabo San Lucas. So I've been almost everywhere in Mexico. The only place I still need to go technically, that I would love to go, is to Jalisco, which is where my dad was born and raised. So that's my next goal in Mexico is to go to Jalisco. Oh yeah, I've been to Oaxaca as well. I forgot. I'm sorry. But I hope to one day visit Jalisco and see the roots that my dad came from. So, but Mexico, beautiful place, and I'm so proud to have Mexican heritage in my heart.
All right, next one is
Montenegro. So Montenegro, we went to the city of Budva, which is along the coast, and so how would I describe Montenegro? So Montenegro is definitely a country that, how do you say, the people there take their time when it comes to doing tasks. So not saying customer service isn't the best, but essentially people do things there on their own time. So you're not rushing anybody. You can't act all Karen or privileged in Montenegro. You have to basically follow their rules. And so, so maybe the customer service isn't as existent as it is in these other European countries, but Montenegro has its charm. I would say I love the food in Montenegro. It's really good. Like they eat mostly like meat and like seafood. Because they're by the coast, but Montenegro has a very, very, I would say, a laid back, chill culture. So if you're into those that just want to have a laid back chill, then Montenegro is up there, and also it's pretty cheap. It's a very cheap country, So so your dogs will definitely stretch here as well. A lot of Russians too when we came. A lot of Russians. In fact, there's a lot of signs when you go there. That's in Montenegrin, the language, but also in Russian, in the Cyrillic alphabet, which I found pretty interesting actually. So Montenegro, very unique country.
all right. Next one is
Serbia. Okay, so Serbia. So we went to Belgrade. We were there for like a day, so we didn't spend too much time in Serbia. But at least for the city, that Serbia that we saw, it was very clean. You saw there was a lot of statues, a lot of architecture related to the Orthodox Church, and the people were very friendly. I mean, this is where we drank rakia, which is like the unofficial beer of the Balkans, as they call it. And yeah, Serbia is a also very nice country. It has some of the best looking people, I would say, in the Balkans, right up there with Croatia. And yeah, honestly, Serbia is a pretty cool country. Serbia. I mean, I know there's a lot of kind of history with Serbia as well. Serbia were the ones that don't recognize Kosovo. They're always like in dispute with Albania for that. And how do you say? They also were kind of like the starters of the Bosnian War, and the Kosovo War in the '90s. So yeah, I know it's a pretty complicated history with Serbia, but hey, as a country, it was beautiful. Serbia's a very, very, very nice country, and I was treated well there by the locals, so no complaints, at least for me personally there.
Next one is
Germany, Danke Germany, Deutschland. So Germany, I would say we saw the city of Berlin. We were there for 2 days in Berlin, and this is actually one of my favorite cities that I love, that I enjoy. I love Berlin. I love like the history. We saw the Berlin Wall. We saw the Reichstag. We stepped into parts that used to be in the former East Berlin. East Germany. We saw a lot of remnants of like the Ampelmann, like the traffic lights. We saw like the TV needle, which is famous in Berlin. And yeah, no, Berlin's a beautiful country. It's very clean. No, they fucking sorry. One of the foods that they love eating is like sausage with fries. That was delicious. That was good. I could definitely get used to eating that. And yeah, Germany's a very, very, very nice country as well. Like I say, a lot of history, which is why I love history. We went to like this. We saw like the schools where like people like Albert Einstein went, Karl Marx. All through the Communist Manifesto. It was a pretty cool country. Germany's honestly a very nice country. I love Germany. I would definitely go back again to Germany.
all right. Let's see. The next one is. So I'm just trying to.
Let's kind of go through here. Oh, La France. Allez-vous la France? Je parle français aussi. So, France was cool. We went to Paris for a day. We were there in Paris. We did all like the famous fair, like the Eiffel Tower, the Notre Dame, the Champs Elysees, the Louvre, all that good stuff. So France was pretty cool. The Seine River, all that. And yeah, France is a very nice country. I don't know if I would go again, only because for me, after seeing all that, for me, I was happy. Like even if we didn't come back to France, as long as all those monuments, I was happy with it. So France was definitely a one-time thing, at least for me. So I mean, the only reason I would go back is made to go to the Euro Disneyland, but that'd be the only thing I'd go back. It made to see Versailles, but other than that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm like meh. So yeah, so France is a nice country. I mean, it is a cool country. Maybe for some people they'd go again and again, but for me, going once was, for me, that's enough. That's pretty cool.
All right. Next top is. Oops, sorry.
All right, Slovenia. Okay, so Slovenia is definitely one of those countries that's very beautiful. So we went to Lake Bled, which is like this beautiful lake that's surrounded by mountains, and you can definitely spend a night there. Like I would have loved to have spent a night in Lake Bled, because it's just that beautiful. Like the country, the people are friendly, hospitable. We went to this like Slovenian like dinner that was pretty cool, and yeah, honestly, Slovenia was very awesome. I love Slovenia. Slovenia's a very, very, very family friendly country, and actually, I would recommend Slovenia for families. So if you have a family that wants to go to Europe in a country that's very open for families, Slovenia is definitely the place to go. It's very safe. You saw like architecture. There's a lot of like dragon statues. So Slovenia is one of those countries that believes like in the mythical, like in the whole how do you say? Sorry, I'm a little sick. That's what I'm trying to. In the whole mythology behind the dragons, everything's like pretty decorative, very awesome. So Slovenia, it's very nice, very nice. I will definitely go back again, but just for Lake Bled. Lake Bled was good. The capital, it's like Ljubljana or something. That was nice too, but Lake Bled, man, that was all I needed for me to one day go back. That place is amazing.
Great landmark.
And the next one is Holland. Okay, so this is the Netherlands. So, funny story about the Netherlands is we were there for a day. We were in Amsterdam, and the place I kept wanting to go was the red light district. So I made my girlfriend go about 5 or 6 times around the block just because I wanted to see, Yeah, I mean, come on, as guys, we're guys. We want to see, naked chicks, we want to see the triple X porn shit and all that. Sorry, that's just like. But yeah, but Amsterdam was pretty cool. Like it's like say, I consider Amsterdam to be like the vice capital of the world because everything is legal, like drugs, prostitution, legalized prostitution. Yeah, you could do fucking marijuana, mushrooms, LSD, ecstasy. It's all legal, And the sex thing is like wide open. Like they talk about sex openly. Like for them, it's like normal. So, so if you're definitely someone that wants to like have urges and you just want to let loose, hey, Amsterdam might be for you. So, cheers. Cheers to that.
All right. Next one is
All right, the United Arab Emirates. So I'll talk about another country that I went to. Later in the video. But basically, I went to Dubai, to Abu Dhabi. Those cities were great, awesome. A lot of malls in this country, and I felt very safe. It was very cool to see the culture of the United Arab Emirates. I saw the Burj Khalifa, the panel that's also famous there in Dubai. The metro system is clean. It's amazing. It's very safe and efficient. The people were friendly. Like the mall, like if you're like a shopper, you will love the malls of the United Arab Emirates. I mean, they have like fucking malls that have like 5 stories full of stores. It's crazy. It's mind blowing. So yeah, so it was pretty cool. So I love the UAE. The UAE is very nice. Maybe it does feel a little too what's the word? Superficial, because it's like malls and a big city metropolis, but nothing else. If that makes sense. So, but yeah, the UAE is very nice. I mean, Dubai's nice. Dubai's very nice. For me, it was good to go once. I wouldn't miss it if I don't ever go again. I'm just glad I got to go once and I got to explore this country. So yeah, United Arab Emirates.
Next up is
Japan. Okay, so Nippon. So I've actually been to Japan twice. So in the 2 times that I went, I love Japan. Actually, Japan is definitely a country I could always go back to again and again. That's how much I love Japan. I love their food. I love their culture. I love how clean everything is. I love the metro system. I love how efficient it is. We went to Hiroshima, Osaka, Tokyo. We saw the Tokyo Skyscraper. We saw most of the famous landmarks in Tokyo. Osaka, downtown Osaka was amazing. We went to Kyoto as well to see all the golden temples, all that good stuff. Hiroshima for the with the mortar with the bomb fell, the nuclear bomb fell. We saw everything there in Hiroshima. Hiroshima was amazing. It was very cool to see the museum that dedicates it to what happened. And yeah, honestly, yeah, Japan's amazing. I will definitely go back again. Like I said, this is a country I probably would not get tired of going again and again. So Japan's amazing. It's awesome. Love Japan. Next up is India. So okay. So India was pretty special. So we spent quite a few days in India. We went to a couple cities. We went to New Delhi, Jaipur, Varanasi, Agra, and Amritsar. So we saw, like I said, I was able to see the Taj Mahal, the Ghats in Varanasi, the palaces of Jaipur, and the Golden Temple, and the Wagah ceremony in Amritsar, where we got as close to the Pakistan border as we could. And that ceremony honestly made the trip for me. That was such a cool thing to see, the Wagah ceremony. And if you haven't seen that, you can see it on YouTube, but it's so cool to see it in person. It was amazing. Even though it was raining, I had a great time in the Wagah ceremony. It was just awesome. And then Agra, the Taj Mahal, obviously amazing. Everything. We were on the trains, which was a pretty cool experience to go on the trains. So that's something I'll never forget. And yeah, the food to me was pretty good. I mean, I love the spicy and that's of the Indian cuisine. And yeah, New Delhi. I mean, India as a whole was amazing. As far as if I would ever go back again, it's tough. So for India, there's a saying for India. When you get there, it's crazy, but once you leave, you might be crazy enough to come back because you'll miss that crazy aspect. Like, India is definitely not for the weak. I would not recommend India for a first time traveler. That is a given. Travel elsewhere like to Europe, South America, before you head to India, because at least now once you have some travel experience under your belt, you'll know what to expect in India. Let's just say that. So, but yeah, if you have the chance to go to India, I would recommend it to go at least to see everything, at least once to see everything. You do need a visa if you're from the U.S., so definitely do not forget to get the visa. Because I've heard stories. I didn't see myself, but I've heard stories of people being denied on their trip to India because they don't have the visa and then they can't fly. So please do your homework. Check if your country needs a visa requirement every time you travel. That's always what people should do. Always check if they need visas. But for India, you definitely need a visa because they fucking check for the visas. So this is a process. I mean, you can Google it, but basically, if you want to go to India, get the visa. It's worth it though. It's fucking worth it. Next country is Nepal. So I love the flag of Nepal. It's amazing. It's cool. But yeah, Nepal's beautiful. Nepal's actually one of the safest countries I've ever been. And it has Mount Everest. I mean, Mount Everest for me, that was like also one of the fucking coolest things I've seen. To see it up close, Mount Everest, it was chef's kiss to the whole trip. And Kathmandu, Nepal, the capital, it's like I said, it's very safe, very friendly. We had at probably I had probably the best tasting hot chocolate in my life in Nepal, believe it or not. And yeah, Nepal is beautiful. It's definitely more, how do you say, more more I can't think of the word now. They're more for the environment. That makes sense. They're more like taking care of the environment, making sure that the wildlife is protected. Everything's protected. Like like environment wise, they make sure that everything is protected always. And yeah, Nepal is also very safe, very beautiful, very very beautiful country. If you get the chance to go to Nepal for Mount Everest, do it. I recommend it. It's worth every penny. Worth every penny. Amazing. Then the final country that I have is Qatar. And if you're wondering, yes, I did go to the World Cup in Qatar. So I was there for 3 days basically in Qatar. Well, 3 days spread over because I was there for the World Cup matches. So, Mexico, that's the team that I went for. So every time Mexico played, I would fly from either UAE to Qatar, to Doha. And luckily all the games were in that one city, so I didn't have to do all these crazy routes where I had to change cities for every time. It was all in Doha, which was great. And yeah, the World Cup that was definitely one of the highlights of my entire life, is to go to a World Cup to watch Mexico play, and I finally accomplished that dream. That was one of my ultimate dreams in life, is to go to a World Cup to see Mexico play, and I did in Qatar. So Qatar will always have a special place in my heart. Will always have a special place. So loved Qatar for the game, for the World Cup atmosphere. It was all amazing. It was cool. It was great. Qatar was amazing. Loved it. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I do plan to visit more countries in the future. And yeah, I just hope, things go well. So that's all I have. I love you guys. Take care. And I'll see you next time. Have a good night.